It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, our new season begins with an NFC South matchup, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. There's Nick Folk ready to put this one in the air. And we are underway here on EA Sports. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll start on the ground with Irving. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. They go play action. Mayfield. Now he's going to step up and run. And he wisely will throw that one away. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Alert, 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 alert.
To throw, Mayfield. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
King.
First down, Buccaneers.
Hey, alert 33.
Throwing, Mayfield. Right back to Chris Godwin. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up 1st and goal.
Hey, alert 33. Done.
On 1st and 10, here's Irving. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Once again, it's Irving. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was an in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Cade Otton from 10 yards out. And the Bucs are on the board here first in the season opener. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
Let's go now.
A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. Up past the 30, 2nd down coming up. Second down and 6 now.
Let's go.
Looking to throw, Penix. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he stopped immediately there. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over in that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And looking to throw, Penix. And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. That'll go as a 39-yard punt. Give him 9 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
Mayfield looks to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. He's got Otten. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
A gain of 19 yards. First down, Tampa Bay.
Running the toss to Irving. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Run. 180. Real.
Mayfield. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3-and-out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 50-yard line.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. short throw caught by Pitts. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Robinson, he'll try the left side. And he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Let's go.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Now Penix. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. They'll throw with Penix. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
The Folks' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Yeah, he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes, and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And this is going to be incomplete.
How about this defense that came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it will be Falcon football. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here we go.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there's a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Penix working out of the gun here. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Here's Penix. Checks this one down to Robinson. What an effort. He's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Penix. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
First and 10 at the
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
Let's go now. Go.
A quick throw here out wide to Pitts. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Kyle Pitts, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Folk. And the lead is now 10-7. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Mayfield on play action. Now he's going to step up and run. And Mayfield will have a first down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact there at the end of the play. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. Mayfield down. And that is incomplete. Wow, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And that is is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
How about the coverage we just saw break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Well, the punt team and Vernon out there as he gets this one away. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. And this one nearly intercepted. That one might need to go back to the drawing board. Almost a disaster. It winds up just an incomplete pass, though. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll go play action here with Penix. That's out wide here for Robinson. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
To the air, Penix. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Robinson up the middle. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Yaya Diaby got in there behind the line and dropped him for a loss on the play. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Going right side here, and that's complete. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Falcons are able to widen their advantage. Now Folk for the extra point. And now it's blocked. This is going the other way. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now, much more of a field goal attempt, and the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was stamped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
and get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one up to around the 33.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll stay on the ground with Irving. races down the right side. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Bucky Irving, 67 yards. And the Bucs have got it back to within a score. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead is down to 2.
16. Buccaneers, 14. Chase McLaughlin to kick off for the Buccaneers.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
And they're on 24.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
Here we go. Left thing, 19. 18 Cardinal.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Throw left side. There's London. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49. A gain of just 2.
Second and 7 at the 49.
They'll come up second and 7.
70 Lion.
A give left side to Robinson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 40.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Back to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
19, let's go.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. It's caught left side by Cooks. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 24-yard line.
Ready?
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
A play fake. Now Penix. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. So they'll, of course, decline the pass interference there and wisely take the yardage.
And I think defensively he's saying, I was getting away with that in the first half. Why are you making that call now? But to me, that one was pretty easy to see. I don't understand what he's upset about. I think it was the correct call.
Robinson on a give right side. Showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. Solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Ryan Robinson Jr., a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Folk connects on the extra point. And that makes this a 9-point game. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Second and 7 from the 20.
Alert, alert! Alert, alert! Good! That's it!
Baker going to give it to Urban. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. We talked about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And that will be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They go play action here on 1st down. And a dump off here to Robinson. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
This is caught. It's Cooks. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Looking to throw, Penix. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this This is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 28.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Back to the ground with Robinson. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talking over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And looking to throw, Penix. And that is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Folks' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do this thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Point it right, point it right, point it right. Alert, 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 alert.
Mayfield to throw it. He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory.
Hey, alert, 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 alert. Hey, alert 33. Watch out.
Mayfield firing quickly. It's complete. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Emeka Egbuka. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Bucs have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
The Bucs will set up for the two-point conversion.
Mayfield going to try to throw for the 2. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it.
26, Buccaneers, 20.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And it's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
6-yard line.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Hand off now to Robinson. Gets through, and now an opening. feet. Touchdown, Falcons. Bijan Robinson, 46 yards. And the Falcons are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth-quarter lead.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
The Falcons are going to leave the offense out there. They'll go for two. They'll try and throw with Penix. And no, it falls incomplete. So the two-point conversion, no good.
Keeps the score. Falcons 32. Buccaneers 20.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. He's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. Here's 1st and 10. Mayfield. Oh, he's got Ibuka. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Mayfield to throw. Going up top. And this is caught. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. So a big play coming now for the Bucs as they'll go for 2. Here's Baker. Now a run here off the RPO, and he'll keep it. And he'll get in for the 2 points, and in so doing, cut the deficit to 2 points. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player.
And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, huh?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And they'll indeed take a knee. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout.
Let's go. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, but he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1, and to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for Atlanta, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.